that was one of the major issues that came up, was security and safety. And we did an extensive investigation, examination, whatever word you want to call it, on the gatehouse procedure. The issue at the time was pedestrians coming in without any monitoring, and also the traffic issues that have been presented here. We have a full report that's also posted on the Solivita HOA website. You may want to check that out. We've had some recommendations that you've talked about today that are being implemented. For example, part of the license plate recognition is one of the things that we think will have a major impact on how the gatehouses work. And notice I said gatehouse, I did not say guardhouse. I think we have a perception here that those gatehouses and our safety and security department are a police force, and they are not. They have very limited power on providing us the safety things that we're looking for. They can't arrest people, they can't do anything. The main thing is we have to understand the difference between our security and safety department and the sheriff department. And that's one of the things that we have been trying to work on, is getting an understanding that our expectation of our safety and security department is far beyond what it actually has been hired to do. So we need to work on that as well. And again, that report is definitely on the website, and you should check that out. We are recommending some type of a speed recognition, whatever you want to call it, system, whereby those who decide that they don't want to agree with the traffic signs and issues, that they will be taken care of accordingly. It's been done in many other communities, and we feel as an advisory committee that it is time that Solivita does something of this nature, because people just feel, some people feel, that the rules and regulations are for everybody else and not them. The other thing that we did was we examined whether or not the HOA was a feasible possibility of purchasing the amenities. If early on in that process, when this whole issue first began, many people said, well, why doesn't the HOA purchase the amenities rather than the CBD? And we did an extensive examination for that, and it was our recommendation that our HOA could not feasibly do it in a fiscal and efficient way that the CBD can. We also were involved with the Landscape Advisory Committee in reviewing the landscape contractors that were interested in coming here, and we were involved right up to the recommendation stage. Also, we reviewed our process for our committee when we have a vacancy or new positions. For example, we have 3-year terms, and after 3 years, those people who are in those terms leave, and then 3 other residents have an opportunity to serve. So we've adopted an interview process. I'm happy to say that this year we had 13 applicants that were interested in filling 4 positions. We have 3 3-year term positions and 1 2-year term position due to a resignation. Those are just major things that we did this year. We did many other things. I don't want to take the time to go over those with you, but if you look on the HOA website, all of our minutes for every meeting that we've ever had are posted there, and that'll give you an idea of some of the things that we deal with. In closing, I just want to tell you that we have a committee of 9 residents, 3 3-year term groups, and at this point, Judy Johnston, Ann Smith, and myself are leaving the advisory committee as of December 31st. Through the applications and interview processes, we have 3 new members that will be starting in January: Joyce Collin, Joe Ewing, and Stephen Kane. We had 1 resignation, so there was a 2-year term, and Hal Smith has taken that position over, and he will fill that for the remaining 2 years. The continuing members are Kathy Laffey, Bill Land, who is your new chairman, Barry Spiro, and Buddy Whites. they will continue. And between those 9 people, they are there to help you, they are there to advise our board, and they are there to make Solivita the best community we have. Thank you.
Leonard, I want to thank you for your service again as chairman.
Thank you. Thank you.
You've got beautiful legs.
Oh,
I'd like to now introduce Donovan Brown, Chairman for the Solivita Landscape Committee.
Thank you, Gary. We started the year off this year with our previous landscape maintenance contractor with hopes that he would catch up the slack, knowing that their contract was in the final phase. And coming out of the dormant season, it became apparent that they were not going to make a significant change. In March, we began the process of preparing a new RFP, which is, in other words, a new set of specifications for bidders to use in the bid. We went through many versions, and finally we came with a final contract version, a final version which was presented to the HOA board for approval. Based on the suggestion of Evergreen Management, the RFP was sent out to 9 different companies which had the perceived capacity of handling a contract the size of Solivita. The size of Solivita's contract is considered to be one of the largest in the state. The new RFP contains more mowings, more fertilizer applications to turf, makes specific fertilizer applications to trees and shrubs, which was never done before, has an additional pruning of dead palm fronds from tall palm trees. We also have implemented put in a new provision for removing Spanish moss from anything that can be reached from the ground without having climbing trees or getting on ladders. But this will eliminate an awful lot of the unsightly Spanish moss. And as has been stated by Gary already, we've separated the tall palm pruning and the mulch application from the main contract, and we're administering those tasks directly. And as also was mentioned by Lenny, a selection committee was formed between the Solivita Advisory Committee and the Landscape Committee. We interviewed the competing potential candidates at many different levels. The process was long, but it was well worth it. The 1st of September, Floor based in Lakeland, was selected as our new landscape contractor. They had only 2 months to staff up and equip for a November 1st start. They literally hit the ground running with a lot of catching up to do due to the slow decline of their predecessors' performance, resulting from a significant loss of their labor force, knowing that they were going to be losing the contract. They inherited an unusual number of mainline irrigation breaks, which they actually started repairing before they started on their contract. Floor started their tenure on November 1st at the beginning of the dormant season, and this is a time in which the schedules are reduced and the labor force requirement is less than during the growing season. There was so much catching up to do to be accomplished that the reduced labor force has actually not been able to achieve their regular time schedule to date. Wherever they have been, however, the residents' comments have been very complimentary. To date, they are still working on making their first visit of detailing to Candlewood, Vizcaya North, Bay of Viana. Some places in Bay of Viana are already complete, and to San Rafael, San Clemente areas of Portofino common areas. Floor expects to complete these neighborhoods, which have not been detailed, by December 14th, at which time they will return to their next round of detailing. And please be patient with them because, as I mentioned, they've had a lot of catching up to do. And once they catch up, they'll be able to make their regular rounds and they'll be able to give us the service that we expect and which they anticipate to give to us. Just to give you some statistics of what they've done in the first month, they removed over 1,300 cubic yards of debris. They fixed over 700 irrigation repairs, work orders. They've had 300 maintenance work orders. and they have completely detailed over 3,800 homes, all of this in 1 month. Your landscape committee is composed of 10 members, each assigned a neighborhood or a group of neighborhoods to monitor. We meet monthly where we discuss current issues, both with Floralan and among ourselves. Each committee member reports on his assigned neighborhood. I would like to leave you with this following statement. We anticipate a long and compatible relationship with Floralan to assist in fulfilling our mission statement, which is the Solivita Landscape Committee, as representatives of the Solivita community, strives to assure that the quality of the landscape environment of Solivita contributes to the overall quality of living for all Solivita residents.
I'd like to thank Mr. Brown and Mr. Vento for a lot of hard work over the past years, actually, not just this past year. Some community statistics. Total closed units through October 2016, 4199. New construction closings, 109. Resale closings, 313. Beginning balance unit count proposed for January 2016. The budget is based on 4,256 closed units. And 80 Homes is projecting that their closings for 2017 will be 204. Through our compliance department, we've had over 2,000 total architectural requests. All of these go through the compliance department as well as the architectural review committee. Because of the hail damage, the re-roofs was the predominant one for this year. At 829, landscaping alterations, screening closures, and painting of the home followed suit. At this point in time, I'll open it up for a last round of questions if anybody has any. Yes.
My name is Larry Bennett, currently residing at 105 Auburn Drive. I've lived here full-time since March 2002. I want to thank Craig and Gary for being very responsive to the many questions I've had thus far, and I understand there are more answers forthcoming. Regarding the budget process leading up to the proposed 2017 budget, which I have reviewed, and included in that review have been the budget since 2002. There are issues with this budget which are repeated year after year and which cannot or will not be answered by the management company of the day. We are on our fourth company, at least I'm on our fourth company. Every few years there's a significant event impacting the budget, which makes it difficult for me as well as new homeowners, and I think the management company as well as even the auditors, to understand or explain the financial reporting. As an example, in 2017, the event of major impact was the change in salaries and wages, a significant change, due to the proper allocation of HOA personnel expense and no longer being supported by the club payroll. In 2014, the event was the cost of the security contract, which previously included in the club budget, was then added to the Solivita or to the HOA budget. That was some $920,000 transferred between the two entities. And of course, the merger of Solivita West with Solivita HOA, which included the transfer of some $450,000 to the Solivita HOA. In 2013, the event was the creation of pooled reserves by consolidating funds previously paid into the restricted funds, roads, landscapes, land irrigation, bad debt, and courtyard reserves, and calling them pooled reserves. In 2009, it was the move of the common area landscape maintenance expenses, some $897,000, previously included in the club assessment, to the HOA. In 2007, whatever the event was, required a $37,262 loan from the developer, and to my knowledge, it hasn't been paid yet. And of course, in that same year was the creation of the courtyard entity, which is really a subset of financial numbers, which we can go into later. There are other events over the years, like special assessments for hurricanes and freeze damages. As a consequence, it is my opinion that the financial instruments provided to the residents annually, including the 2017 budget, first, lack consistency and continuity from year to year, as well as from management company to management company. 4 of them, remember. Increases in the lack of adequate or any explanation as to why increases, decreases, additions, deletions, either in the management company or the auditor notes. Examples of these can best be seen in a review of the reserve accounting handouts that we passed out before the meeting began by the management companies over the years, and shown in the first handout from the various management companies. Column A on that handout shows the various name changes for line items in the years 2002 through 2017. As an example, bad debt reserve disappears and becomes general reserve. No explanation really, it just appears to be the same amount on the same line. Notes in column B through K to the right on that spreadsheet show the funding and the charges to the various reserve line items, such as courtyard paint reserve in 2007. And I've highlighted that on the spreadsheet. Courtyard annual pressure cleaning and termite control are added in 2014. Now these are the reserves that are for the entire homeowner association. Such items being expensed to the reserve account for which no reserve was set up to begin with. An example, repair for the street signs, repair or replacement, and awnings. Now these are not in the operating expenses, they're out of the reserves. I've also given you another handout that's the audit reserve review. It contains additional examples illustrating by the auditors as shown in the handout. Information contained in columns A through K are the same as I showed you from the management companies. And of course, the numbers are different. Information from the auditor's reports beginning in 2011 through 2015. Other reports were available for me to review. Please note the addition of mulch, general, pressure washing, interest, and pool are reserve line items that appear to be added by the auditors and not the management company. And the auditor total numbers disagree with those of the management company, as you'll see in the previous handout. For instance, compare the auditor's reserve number in 2010 and 2011 to those of the management company for the same years. The difference is some $300,000 to $400,000. These differences need to be reconciled since we're increasing the reserve assessment in 2017. Part of the homeowner's assessment has been to pay into road reserve $4 per month per household, and landscape and irrigation reserve $2 per month for many years. And in 2017, we will be paying an additional $5 per month into a reserve fund general. My question is, will these reserve funds be treated as true reserves or continue to be used to offset annual O&M expenses, such as awning repair and street sign replacement. I understand I sent some other questions to Craig, and they maybe have time to address today. If not, I'm sure we'll meet separately. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to getting the information on the reserves.
I have a question that's very simple. We talk about the landscaping, but I never hear. Hold it up. Oh. There you go. When we talk about landscaping, I never hear anything about these power trees that are along all the streets. And I just wonder if it's our responsibility to keep them from growing over the driveway in the house, or is it something to do with the landscaping companies?
Did you say palm trees or the street trees?
The oak trees.
The oak trees.
The oak trees,
That-
yeah. My driveway, I clipped off 2 big branches because they were 5 feet high over my driveway.
That is one of the issues that we struggled with Mainscape on, that the landscape committee and our management team and Flora Lawn have discussed. That is their responsibility. They're in the process of actually creating a specified tree detail crew that will do nothing but address the street trees as it relates to the roads and the driveways and the sidewalks. Obviously, we're playing catch up, as Mr. Brown brought up, but in 2017, there will be a dedicated crew to do nothing but maintain the elevations of those trees.
I wasn't complaining, I just wanted to know whose job it was.
It's ours.
Okay. Hallelujah, thank you.
Yes. If there are no other questions, may I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion. I'll make that motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
We will roll over into the Board of Directors meeting for the Solivita Community Association, December 5th, 2016. May I please have roll call of the board members? Please state your name and title.
Chris Davis, Vice President of Construction, A.B. Holmes, Treasurer of the Board. Dan Young, Vice President.
Tony Uriel, Vice President of Development, President H.
The meeting notice was in accordance with Florida state statutes mailed to all members on or about November 10th, 2016, dated November 7th, 2016. In the interest of time, can I have a motion to accept the 2017 budget and the 2017 fee schedule for the Solivita Community Association as presented in the annual membership meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Please let the record reflect the board has passed the 2017 budget unanimously. May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Please let the record reflect the meeting was adjourned at 11:40. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming and for your participation.
See you later.